El Jimador tequila is the #1 tequila in Mexico. It is the exact same price as Cuervo in the state of Utah, so you're not charging your customers more, you're just giving them a better quality product. Okay. Some of the customers are not going to be familiar with the name. If you're a tequila fan, I'm sure you are, but if you're maybe just moderately knowledgeable about tequila, maybe not so much. So what I want to do is give you guys a little bit of knowledge on El Jimador, so if your customers are asking about it, you can kind of educate them. Okay. So El Jimador, which means the harvester in Spanish, basically came out in 1994. 5 years later, it was the #1 tequila in Mexico, and it still is. Okay? In Mexico, they don't drink Cuervo; they drink El Jimador. El Jimador is 100% blue Weber agave. Cuervo is a 51% mixto. The other 49% is just fructose or sugar. Cuervo would be clear if they didn't use caramel to color. This is naturally this color because it's aged so. Okay. You guys are going to be carrying the Blanco, which you don't have, and the Reposado. The Reposado will be the dominant product. Blanco tequila is aged 2 months or less in American oak. Reposado, which means rested, is aged 2 months to 12 months in oak. So you're getting the darker color because it's sitting in the wood longer. Okay. I'm not trying to make you guys experts or anything on tequila in one quick session, but if someone asks you, well, what's El Jimador? I've never heard of it. Now you've got a little bit of information. It is the #1 selling tequila in Mexico. That's Nielsen data. It's not me just making something up. It is very well known as a great tequila, especially for the price point. Okay, when you can get Cuervo and this for the same price, there's no kind of comparison. Cuervo is brilliant at marketing and way better at El Jimador's than, to be honest, but kind of quality-wise, the product is going to come out better. Your margarita is going to taste better with a superior product. Okay? That's kind of El Jimador in a nutshell. Any quick questions on that?
Actually, well, what's the #1 tequila in the world? You know?
You have to kind of rank them. In the world, it's Cuervo. Okay? If you want to talk about premium tequila, it's Cazador. That's the #1 premium tequila in the world. Ultra premium would be like Patron. Okay? A little bit from that. The other new vodka you guys are carrying is Grey Goose, okay, for your top shelf mark. Grey Goose for $6, you're not going to find it cheaper right now. I don't need to speak a whole lot about Grey Goose, French, winter wheat, all the awards, yada, yada, yada. For your gin, you'll have Bombay gin, which is a good value gin. Well, it's not value, it's a quality gin, but it's a good price point. You guys aren't going to really sell too much gin products, but that's what you have. 8 Botanicals, recipe from 1761. It's been around forever. Any gin drinker knows the name Bombay. You guys are still, as far as your brown goods, going to be carrying Jack Daniels.
Which Bombay are we doing? The clear or the sapphire?
Clear gin. Bombay gin original. Yep. You guys still have your Jack Daniels. Now your higher mark whiskey will be Woodford Reserve Bourbon. $6. Yeah. $6 for Woodford, another amazing value. Woodford is the world's, it's the fastest growing small batch bourbon. It's made in Versailles, Kentucky. The distillery is actually a national landmark. Woodford is also the official cocktail of the Kentucky Derby, which is what cocktail?
Minjula.
Minjula.
Large.
I think this is large.
Only one per household.
So Woodford is a phenomenal product. Great with the julep, great just on the rocks or neat. And you guys can actually do the julep. It's basically a mojito with, instead of rum, it's the Woodford. So if someone wants to, maybe a cocktail suggestion, it's go with mint julep. It's basically a mojito, and you guys will be taught how to make a mojito, substitute with Woodford. If someone wants a drink suggestion, something different for El Jimador, make them a batanga, which is basically a Cuba Libre with tequila. It's tequila, Coke, squeeze a lime. There's a lot of things we can talk about, but I'm just going to give you guys kind of a baseline, not talk all day. So any questions with any of the other new marks you guys are carrying? No?
Do you want to touch on any of the new margarita products?
Yeah. Well, basically, your margarita list basically is, how do I say it? Execution-wise, is staying the same. You're obviously replacing all your Cuervo mixed margaritas now with El Jimador. So, I mean, and that's something honestly you should be telling your customers. You guys are getting 100% agave margarita for $5, $4.50. I don't know call the price. That's phenomenal. Okay. You're also going to have what we call the classic Rio Grande margaritas made of Cazadores, and they're priced in the like $7, $8 range, which for Cazadores margarita, you're talking at least $10 plus anywhere else. And then you'll have your ultimate margarita, which is the Herradura Añejo. The only other thing I actually forgot to mention was Tuaca. You guys are carrying Tuaca now. I don't know if you guys are maybe familiar with that. My favorite thing in the world to drink. My favorite thing in the world. Tuaca is a brandy-based vanilla citrus liqueur. Don't think of brandy, just brandy-based. It's a liqueur. It's a cordial, but it is 70 proof, just like rum or vodka or tequila. It's a legitimate. It's not just like a flavoring. Tuaca, I like to drink it just neat on the rocks. It's an amazing shot, or do like a lemon drop, just to squeeze a lemon and shake it up with a shot. It's also going to float on a margarita. So on your menu, you'll have a Tuacarita, which is basically a margarita with a float of Tuaca as opposed to, say, like a float of like Cointreau or Grand Marnier. So you're basically extending your margarita list a little more chic, I guess.
What's going to be you will still be carrying Cuervo.
Yes, you guys will still have Cuervo on your menu. For those, you know, it's one of those things people are going to ask for. They know the name, and people that are in their 40s that started drinking it when they were in their 20s are kind of hooked on the name Cuervo, and that's fine. But to give your customer a better experience, you know, let them stick with the El Jimador. It's going to taste better. They're going to, in theory, order more, and they're going to tell their friends what an amazing margarita they got for $5 or $6.
What percentage is Cuervo?
51%. The mixto is 51% agave. That's what Cuervo is. If you notice, Cuervo changed their label like 4 or 5 years ago because the Tequila Commission made them, because they were basically implying that they were 100% agave on their label, so they had to change it.
The Cuervo White, is that sometimes?
I believe it's the same. I don't quote me. I don't sell it, but I believe it's the same. Do you know?
It is.
Yeah, I think it's the same. Dr. Shorley, you guys can review them before they actually go out to your customers. Basically, you guys have like the lime, the strawberry. Those are all called the same.
I meant between the house, the gold, and the top shelf, and then now we have the real top shelf.
The top shelf is still.
The top shelf's going to stay the
Okay,
same.
and then it's now called, he said ultimate, is that?
The ultimate is Herradura Añejo.
Okay, let's just talk about what we
Yeah,
talked
no
about.
problem.
I just wanted to clarify.
The ultimate is Herradura Añejo. The classics are Cazadores. Then you'll have your top shelf, and then you'll have those other ones that were the lime, the strawberry, I don't recall the rest. And Tuacarita will be in there too.
No, I know I got this one, I just wanted to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have literature on all these.
I don't, but I can easily get it. Yeah. I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys. I realize that, but when you see Ben make them and you see the cocktails come together in 20 seconds or 30 seconds, it's not as kind of, it's just a lot of information to bombard you with. I'm just trying to give you some kind of hot points about the brand. But I'll be happy to just kind of print up a quick kind of one sheet for you guys to reference and look at as you're rolling out. You'll get questions, but all you're doing across the board is upgrading the quality of what you're serving your customer. So I'll turn it over to Ben if he's gonna start making the cocktails. But I figured probably the easiest way to do it is Ben will make the cocktail, talk about it, make the cocktails, and then once they're all made, you guys can come up and get a straw, just take a little taste, so you guys can have a flavor profile. Since these are pretty much for the most part going to be new to you guys. And then you can also see kind of the presentation, how Ben was a bartender here now for about 8 years, so he knows quite a bit about presentation and mixology.
All right, I guess I'll just kind of go down your list here the table 10 that we put together for you. If everyone wants to like kind of gather up here. So on the menu we have it with El Jimador Blanco, which we don't have today, so we're going to substitute the other Blanco tequila that we're carrying, Cazadores. Basically, this one's really easy to make. You're just going to do your 1 ounce click, base it with your alcohol, and then let's see. I'm not sure where I get this soda from. Just a dash of sour. You don't want to use too much of it. Just really just to color it a little bit. And then take a salt shaker and give it just a couple of shots of salt. Paloma. And you'll garnish it with a lime and throw a straw in there, and you have your Paloma. Really easy, simple to make.
Grab a bunch of straws.
That's very.
So the next one will be the tequila.
I think it's try. Yeah, now we're doing the Tequila Sunrise. Again, classic cocktail, been around for a long time.
Here I'm 50-50.
kind of a nice way to kind of spice up tequila a little bit, give it more of a fruity, somebody who doesn't love to taste alcohol, but wants to have a drink. It's a good one to offer them. Start with the Reposado Tequila, El Jimador. Shot of that, and then we'll do orange juice on top of it.
She's working on
Oh, she's working on it? Okay, good deal. So I like to do the tequila and then do the orange juice, and then add the grenadine last, just because of the syrup, kind of the syrup consistency of this gives it a nice look. It'll kind of sink to the bottom, give it that kind of like sunrisey look.
Keeping things consistent, or it's just a bit, or people probably be pouring that differently.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
Just a splash, yeah. That's
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really mostly for looks. It doesn't really do much for the flavor. And then lime and a cherry, always with the tequila sometimes. Basically, just take the orange and like wet the rim of your shot glass. Dip it in a little bit of cinnamon.
You can see the cinnamon on one side, like you got done.
And a leaky one. There you go. So we got classic Cuba Libre. This one's pretty basic. It's rum and coke, pretty much, with garnished with a lime. Difference being, most places use a silver rum for the rum and coke, just basic rum and cokes. This is the original recipe with the Bacardi Gold.
It's not as sweet.
Bacardi Gold, citrusy kind of flavor on straight Bacardi Superior.
And again, garnishes are really important. Kind of differentiates the cocktail. It's the mojito, classic mojito. This one's pretty easy, but you're going to use some more fresh ingredients. So you'll take your mint leaves. I usually like to peel the leaves off the stem a little bit. Not use too much stem. If you get a little bit of stem in there, it's okay. It'll still add to the mint flavor. But I think it comes out a little cleaner if you peel most of the stem away. Do about 4 or 5 leaves.
About 4 to 5 leaves, so you gotta keep it consistent.
Kind of put those in the bottom there, and then with the sugar, you're going to want to use about a teaspoon of sugar. So if you're pouring it out of here, you can eyeball it, but really just about a teaspoon of sugar. Don't really need too much of that. And then let's see. I like to put my rum in and muddle it with the rum in. I think it adds a little bit of the flavor and like infuses it into the rum. There we go. Then next you're going to add 2 of these lime wedges.
So we need to make our lime wedges consistent with that, if we're going to make drinks with them.
And it does kind of depend on the size of the lime as well.
And juiciness.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have pretty large wedges, so if you had like a wedge that large, I just use 1. You don't want it to be overwhelmingly limey. Take your muddler and just give it like a good 4 or 5 pushes. You don't want to over muddle it and kind of smash the mint up into little chunks, because then it's going to get stuck in the straw when people are trying to drink it.
You want to
People are gonna have-
bruise it, is what they say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You don't want to.
You don't want actually like little pieces. You just want the
You gotta get the oil and the flavor out of the
Then everyone will
wine and
have
lime
it.
and everything.
Everyone will have mint in their teeth and stuff like that.
And
So you kind of have your muddling down here. That's where all your flavor is going to come from. Top it with ice, and then do club soda on top of that.
That's club soda.
You're going to top it with club soda. Exactly.
I don't know if we want to do cans.
And it's always in the pint. Yeah, it's always in the pint.
Yeah, I believe it'll always
you guys have 2
That's
cases
in a
of these.
mojito.
Yeah.
Cup.
And if you see they've got like the green bottom that kind of looks nice.
And then you're going to finish it off with just a lime on the outside, and then just maybe a little sprig of mint to spice it up a little bit on the top. Mojito's the same. You're just basing it with a different alcohol, and then adding a little coloring to
I think that's my favorite.
You know, if you're busy, you can usually knock it out in about 30 seconds. Max. You know, just give it a nice muddle.
Yeah.
Top it with club soda. Make sure you garnish it, and then there you go.
Yeah.
You got
Except when you have
everything.